guys, what's up? It's Vampire Bride. Today I'm going to be talking about the Razer Huntsman Elite keyboard. This isn't the typical Razer keyboard, and you'll see why here in just a minute. Take a look. To start off with, the look of this keyboard is very clean, and offers a quite modest, modern style when compared to Razer keyboards that I'm used to. From the simplistic, easy-to-read font to the spacious layout of the keys. However, the Razer Huntsman Elite doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the Razer gaming keyboards, such as the Death Stalker. At right around $200 at the time of purchase, this keyboard is one of Razer's most expensive keyboards to date. That puts it in direct competition with some seriously high-quality keyboards, such as the Corsair K95 Platinum, which is a high-end gaming keyboard that uses Cherry MX RGB mechanical switches, whereas the Razer Huntsman Elite uses Razer's new opto-mechanical switches, which are advertised as 30% faster than your normal mechanical switch. Now, you will probably not notice a difference in the speed of the click of your key, especially when it comes to gaming, as it really does come down to mere milliseconds. But when it comes to typing, I really do love this keyboard, and I do find myself typing better, making fewer mistakes, but also typing quicker. It really gives you the feeling of your fingers gliding over the keyboard effortlessly. The keys click easily, yet effectively. These key switches are one of the best, if not the best, of the different switches that I've tried. And I have tried quite a few, from membrane to mechanical and many variations in between. And also newer innovative key switches such as the mecha membrane keys, and now this keyboard that uses the opto-mechanical keys. Of course, when gaming, you usually are not using the entirety of the keyboard, or clicking as many keys as quickly as you would be when typing, and because of this, you do not feel the difference in the key switches as much as you do when you're typing. The optomechanical switch is similar to Razer's green switch, which is also similar to a cherry blue switch. The optomechanical switch has a shorter actuation point than both these other switches, while still giving you that oh-so-satisfying tactile bump and clicky feeling, and is also noticeably lighter than the bluer green switch as well. For gaming, I feel that this keyboard is satisfactory. I think I actually prefer gaming with my Black Widow Ultimate keyboard. More simply put, each of these switches have a slightly different feel to them, and I think that the Razer Huntsman Elite has a foot ahead of the other keyboards I've tried in a lot of areas, but continue to fall short when it comes to gaming. Now, of course, when picking a keyboard, it all comes down to preference, so this is just my opinion, and yours might be completely different. I thoroughly enjoyed the dedicated media keys in the volume wheel of the Huntsman. They can even be used while editing, making for quick work. I didn't find the rewind, play pause, and fast forward button to be as useful as with many media outlets, such as Netflix and YouTube. You already have dedicated keys that you can do the same things with. For example, the space bars usually play and pause, and the arrow keys are usually fast forward and rewind, and for that matter, they can even control volume, making the volume wheel also seem not so necessary, especially with most setups, the speaker being right next to me. At least that's what I thought at first, until I got used to using my Razer Huntsman and then went back to using my Black Widow Ultimate. Then I realized just how much I missed the volume wheel. This keyboard is very customizable beyond just color effects. The volume wheel can actually be customized and changed into other uses, such as one use can be scrubbing through video, which is kind of cool when editing. And there are a few other options as well. I really like how you were able to customize it to your particular needs or personal preferences. Also worth noting, in the middle of the volume wheel, or more properly put, the multifunctional media dial, there is a button that when pressed will mute the volume coming from your computer. When it's muted, around the button is red, so you don't forget that you muted it and then you're trying to figure out why you don't have sound. Another cool feature to this keyboard is that when using the function key, all the other keys go dark except for the ones associated with the function key, making them easy to locate and use in a dark space, which, let's be honest, most people when playing a game or just watching a show will be doing it in the dark. I want to talk a little bit more about how great this keyboard looks. The new surround lighting around the edge of the keyboard and wrist rest are unique and give your desk a nice glow. Or turn the lights to white and illuminate your desk a fair bit in the dark without having to use a lamp or light. The surrounding light even follows the lighting effects that you've set for the keys, including the surround lighting on the wrist rest. When the wrist rest is attached to the keyboard, the lighting effects that are set for the keyboard also continue onto the wrist rest, which clicks onto the keyboard using these little metal plates. One small issue I do have with this keyboard are there are 5 lights that are activated using functions such as cap lock. They are labeled underneath with letters like C for cap lock, but these letters do not light up, so when you are in a dark room, they are virtually useless. This keyboard is pretty heavy and has substantial rubber footing on the bottom, so I wouldn't worry about this big boy sliding around on your desk. The aluminum plate on top of the keyboard and the wrist rest give it a premium high-end feel and add a bit of heft and rigidity. This is certainly a sturdy keyboard, and the wrist rest is no exception. It has a leather-like premium feeling pad on it that feels nice and supports your wrist nice enough for my liking. Although personally I would have preferred for the wrist rest to have a little bit more width to it. The aluminum bezel around the wrist rest can tend to dig into your wrist a little bit, becoming uncomfortable pretty quickly into gaming or typing. Adding a little bit of width would probably alleviate that issue. Though, the way it is very aesthetically pleasing. With 3 different height adjustable settings, this keyboard should have a level that is comfortable for you. Being that it is a full-sized keyboard with a wrist rest, it does fit nicely on my desk with the rest of my setup, but if you are restricted on space, you may need to look for further options. For the use of this keyboard, 2 USB slots are required. So if you are short on USB slots with your system, which isn't personally a problem for me, but if it is for you, again, this keyboard may not be right for you. The Chroma integration is just about the same as it's always been. It's easy to set up and use and has just about as much customization as you could want or ever use. This is my second Chroma keyboard, the first being the Ornata Chroma, and there's not really much I can say about it further as not much has changed. My overall opinion is that this is a great board. $200 great though? Well, $200 is still a bit steep for any keyboard, but if it holds up better than my Ornata Chroma has, then yes, I think it'll be worth it. But I'm worried because there's already starting to be a tear on my wrist rest. With its great looks and the nice clicky feel of the keys that everybody loves, this keyboard is definitely a great typing keyboard, if only passable or average for gaming. I wouldn't classify it necessarily as a gaming keyboard. With a full layout, this keyboard does what it is meant to do very well. Daily internet browsing and productivity work are this keyboard's strong suits, in my opinion. I would highly recommend this keyboard to anybody who is trying to make a statement with their peripherals. My advice is that this keyboard is worth picking up if it fits your build and the specifications we talked about earlier. While I would have been a bit more comfortable around the $150 mark, that is also the price of the Razer Huntsman, the predecessor to the Razer Huntsman Elite, which comes with fewer features and does not have media keys. The more I type, the more I love this keyboard. Typing is so smooth and effortless. So far, so good. Now let's just see if this keyboard holds up to the test of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video, and subscribe for more videos to come.